Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talking Through the Medias, your home for entertainment news and reviews by fans for fans. Make sure to like the video if you enjoy what you're watching. Subscribe to the channel for more stuff like this. I'm Amy Newman, and you may have noticed this episode looks a little bit different. Chris, unfortunately, was having a little bit of technical difficulties this evening. That's why we did not go live as we planned to on Wednesday night. But, as they say, the show must go on, and go on it will. And since Eric, I'm thinking maybe did poison Chris or like tamper with his computer or something to get the spot, he was very ready to step up his understudy, is all I'm saying. But we have my fabulous boyfriend, Mr. Eric Danes, joining us. I'm talking like he can't hear me right next to me. Eric, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. I will say that I did not poison Chris. This was in no way any concentrated effort to dethrone or to get rid of anyone, to put myself in that spot.
Sure. All right, well, you know the drill, folks. We got our topics of the week. Make sure, if you like what you see and you want to help support us, we do have our Patreon for exclusives. Make sure if you have anything you want to share, drop them in the box below. You can find us on all the social media at T3 Medias. Make sure you reach out. Let us know what you're thinking. We'll have some fan and viewer comments throughout the show. So make sure you drop some so you can join in there. And first up, our first topic of the week for Why Is That Trending? 16-year-old Charli D'Amelio has become the first TikToker to surpass 100 million followers. She's also struck sponsorship deals with brands including EOS Cosmetics, starred in a Super Bowl advert for Sabra Hummus, and agreed to be the face of Hollister alongside her sister. The range of deals earned the 16-year-old $4 million in the year from June 2019, according to Forbes. Sky News reported D'Amelio's hopes of reaching the 100 million milestone were dented from an episode of the family series Dinner with the D'Amelios. Fans accused her of being disrespectful towards the personal chef the D'Amelios had hired. She released a tearful video apologizing for her actions. Soon after she announced don't laugh at her, she's 16.
I know, I'm sorry.
Soon after she announced she had reached the followers goal, tweeting out 100 million people supporting me. I truly cannot believe that this is real. All right, so clearly this is all fun and games to you.
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at her necessarily. I just think about myself when I was that age.
Sure, and the things you cried about.
And the things I cried about. And how absolutely off the wall I would be if I had that type of platform with that many people following, with that many brand deals.
Yes.
I still feel like I've got a lot of growing up to do. And so just hearing this about a 16-year-old is just like, whoa.
I mean, honestly, like, rude to a personal chef when you give a 16-year-old that kind of power and influence. I'm not forgiving it. Like, it was embarrassing and it was entitled. But she's also 16. And I definitely probably did worse things at 16 with no influence and power, and I'm very grateful I was not in the public eye, because the things people would have just hated me for, just off the wall. That said, I do think the whole incident, I get why people were angry about it, especially because, like, I did see people calling out, and it's true, when you have, like, you know, people our age trying to call out the D'Amelio sisters for this, it gets a little weird of, like, they are 16. I think the other one's a little older. I'm showing my, the other one, I don't know.
The other D'Amelio.
Yeah. But when you remember, though, like, these girls are, like, to us, it feels so weird and silly, and we're so disconnected from it. But there are other 16-year-olds and 15-year-olds and 14 who are, like, looking at these girls. And I think to some degree remembering, like, not that it's, you know, your job to be perfect constantly, but I get why there was backlash.
Right.
Of, like, you know, you got a platform. A, be gracious and don't be a jerk. B, like, there are teenagers looking at you and thinking this behavior is okay, or if you hit a certain level of fame, then that behavior becomes okay. So I don't know. We asked you, was the incident with Charli and Dixie D'Amelio and the chef, was it that bad? 74% of you said yes, it was rude. 26% said no, it wasn't that bad.
If I could cut in for a second.
Yeah.
Do we have a name on that chef, or is he just known as the chef?
He definitely has a name.
I would assume he has a name.
He's a human being on this earth.
I'm positive his mother didn't give birth and go, first name the. He's a part of the chef family.
I do not know his name, and I apologize.
Sorry, that was just my own curiosity.
Trying to call me out for being rude now?
No.
Yes, insult is cooking.
I am expecting a tearful apology.
I think when it comes right down to it, that was what actually pissed people off. It wasn't that she was rude. It was the, insult to injury on some level of this 16-year-old has a personal chef. And she's being a brat about it. I think that's what pissed people off. Really, at its core, it's people being like, how dare you?
Yeah. And, if I could just be very genuine and say these words to D'Amelio herself, it's going to be okay, girl. You're 16. In 4 years, you're going to have, double the brand deals, and no one's going to remember this. You'll probably do something else dumb that you'll have to apologize for. And that's the circle of life, babe.
At least you didn't get chunky blonde highlights like some unfortunate 16-year-olds here did.
Is that you or me?
It was me.
It was you?
Did you?
Yeah, my godmother was a hairstylist, and we did all kinds of weird stuff.
we both have chunky blonde highlights.
Well, and I got. We'll talk about it on another episode, but yeah, I had quite a hair journey.
We'll save that for the Patreon content. We'll show pictures. If you subscribe at the $5 level. We did have some viewers chiming in. Carlos Magnayon Gray says, I don't even have TikTok, yet I know who Charli is.
That is crazy because I had TikTok, and until you told me about her, I did not know who it was.
Yeah. I've never seen one of their TikToks, but I roughly understand who they are.
Are they just, do you know what they're about? Are they just trendy dancers?
I think they dance. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And that's part of it that's so weird. And I think it is just part of being a little bit older. I'm sorry, this is a dry set. What are you?
I'm sorry. Actually, what are the rules? Am I allowed to drink on recording, or can I just not show the labels? What is?
We gotta Greek it, yeah. There are no rules. No, but looking at this stuff, and it's oh, now I know how our parents felt, being I don't get why they're so crazy about these Backstreet Boys.
These boys in the back.
I heard they're back, but I don't know where they went. James Merlot, great. Thank you for always chiming in, James, and a member of the channel, which we really appreciate the support. Said, I read up about it, so my opinion will be purely based on what I just read since I know nothing else about the sisters. Join the club, us too. James says, first, I voted that it was rude. As for should they be punished? No, in the end, they're young, still unaccustomed to the spotlight. What they did was undeniably rude, and they should be pulled up on it to prevent future ill judgments. But I don't think they should get punished. But they should stay on TikTok.
I actually like that response a lot because, again, I think, we're kind of in this age of we love pointing the finger and giving the shame finger to people, but we really haven't quite found where the grace of forgiveness kind of comes in.
Yeah.
And it's so true. She's young.
She's a kid.
And exactly, pull her up, hold her to it, absolutely. But, it seems like she apologized sincerely and is going to grow up a little bit. It's not like she harmed anyone.
Yeah. Dick Casablancas chimed in and said, no and yes, the snail was not rude at all. If a chef is offended at someone gagging over a snail, they are oversensitive because most people won't react to eating a snail well. I also heard that was almost a little bit of a setup, maybe, in hindsight of they knew she wasn't going to like it, and it was edited to look a little more dramatic than it was, and it was a bit of come on, just try it. You don't have to like it, but... Which also, fire your PR people. Why'd they make you look so bad?
Well, and I mean, for me, I can sympathize with that because me, I'm a very picky eater, and if I ate a snail, I'd probably lose my mind.
They're not bad. But there you go. Let us know what you think. Was it rude? Do you know who these people are? Is Backstreet back? What was your worst hairstyle? Make us feel better. But no, let us know what you think about the whole D'Amelio situation. Whose side are you on? I feel like there's even more like bizarre layers we didn't have time to get into. So drop it in the comment below. We'd love to hear what you think and maybe chat about that on next week's We Got Your Mail. Our next topic, as Disney continues to figure out what to do with Fox properties acquired in the merger, one of the biggest IPs, Deadpool, looks to be gaining momentum. Sources tell Deadline that Bob's Burgers veterans Wendy Molyneux and Lizzie Molyneux-Loeglin will write Deadpool 3, with Ryan Reynolds set to reprise his role as wisecracking Marvel superhero. Sources say the film is still expected to be rated R like the previous 2 installments. The Molyneuxes are sisters and writing partners and executive producers of the long-running hit Bob's Burgers on Fox, for which they won an Emmy in 2017. You're a superhero guy. You excited about it?
I am a superhero guy.
You're my superhero.
No, I am, because I know you're a fan of Deadpool. I know that you loved the first one and saw it multiple times.
Mm-hmm. Super fun movie.
And I think we all agreed pretty much at large that the second one was great, but it just didn't quite catch lightning in a bottle like the first one
It was
did.
good. Yeah, I would put it solidly in like solid B+.
Mm-hmm.
But that first one hit things that just like seeing it for the first time was so fun and so exciting.
So I think personally this is a really great move to bring in these writers, because I think what worked so well for that first movie was like, no one was allowed to do this humor by like studios. Like for the most part, comedies at large would give you like 1 or 2 good laughs, but this first one was just laugh out loud funny and
and raunchy
and so I think bringing in people that kind of have their finger on the pulse with what's funny. I mean, they've got an Emmy, and Bob's Burgers is one of the best TV shows.
Consistently great, hysterical show. Yeah,
I think that's just a great way to make it to keep it fresh, essentially. So I'm all for it. I'm really excited to see what they whip up.
Yeah, I agree. We asked on the channel. Remember that the directors of Winter Soldier to Endgame came from similar TV writing beginnings. Do you think this is a possible Russo brothers?
I love those Russo brothers.
Do you think that this is a possible Russo brothers situation? 65% of you said yes, it could be. 35% said no. I think if they knock it out of the park, and maybe even really bring, because the second one was well liked. Like I don't think there was any. I'm not trying to say like the second one was bad.
No, it wasn't like it definitely didn't suffer sequel syndrome.
No, and I think if they are able to pull that off and finish strong as like a really solid trilogy of really funny movies, that could be good for their career and maybe help Fox start to figure out what to do with some of these IPs, help them start finding the voice and the tone, because I feel like that's one thing. Yeah. Some of these like especially some of the kind of like not like in this like Marvel exactly like Avengers. There's a lot of like, what do we do tonally? Yes. How do we set these apart? Because people are getting that superhero burnout of like, even pretty hardcore superhero fans are like, okay, this is a lot.
I definitely think this could be a pathway like that. I would have to see personally what they're going to do to kind of make that decision, personally, or to make that prediction. Because the Russo brothers were pretty in tight collaboration with Feige and kind of the picture at large and what to do with their universe. That being said, you are exactly right. They could absolutely smash this out of the park, and Deadpool could be kind of their centerpiece character where they can start reviving the old properties, because they're not letting go of X-Men. They, you don't want to let go of any of that. But exactly, like everybody that I know really did not like the last Phoenix installment, and it was just because it didn't feel like it did anything. And so Deadpool really does feel like, they're doing something that nobody else is quite doing. And they're also not suffering the Warner Bros. Syndrome of trying to catch up, putting in 10 years of work into, 1 or 2 releases. So I definitely think they're going to be ones to watch.
Yeah. And Jerf1 has, I think, an interesting point to make on this, saying, I doubt to the extent that the Russo brothers broke out, and not for lack of talent or ability, but the Russo brothers got in the comic book movie game at the right time, right place. Comic book movies are the biggest box office draw now, so there's a lot more movies being made, a lot more competition, and it'll be hard for any writers to cement themselves into a franchise the way the Russo brothers have. I think that's a really solid point. Between the burnout and just the fact that nothing is going to be Avengers, nothing is going to have that like
everybody wants a piece of the pie, but Marvel's been dishing us that pie for a long time now.
Yeah, at this point I'm like, I think I'm done with pie. Chris hates pie, by the way.
Chris,
we're glad you're not.
Yeah.
We love you, Chris. I almost said feel better.
I mean, he might be bummed that he's not on the show tonight, so
fair enough.
I feel better.
No,
that is a good point, though. Like, yeah, a lot of this was about timing, and a lot of it was that Marvel did it first, and not only that, they're kind of deviating away from that slightly with all their television properties. They're kind of doing that, extension at large, but that domino building to like the final movie where it's like, yeah, you could watch that, but if you saw everything else before. So I'm curious what they're going to do, if they're going to blow out that universe, or, flip side, they might just make Deadpool
make a good movie.
Really a tight movie. Yeah, exactly. And kind of make the third one the crown jewel.
Which I think people might like. Just like, that was fun. I didn't have to watch 8 movies to understand it. It was fun. But let us know what you guys think. Are you excited for Deadpool 3? Do you think the Molyneux sisters are gonna do it justice? Gonna do something fun? Do you think they're the next Russos? Let us know, and we will be discussing that next week. Our final trending topic of the week from Comic Book Resource, the hashtag Fire Gina Carano started trending on social media after the Mandalorian star posted several controversial tweets. Gina Carano has been posting tweets that discourage mask wearing and suggest potential voter fraud during the 2020 presidential election. The tweets did not sit well with some Mandalorian fans who ultimately started a petition for Disney Plus to replace Carano as Cara Dune in the streaming service's flagship series, The Mandalorian. Back in September, the actress was under siege for posting an image of Nazi soldiers that fans viewed as racist. However, not every Mandalorian fan, Fandalorian, can we do that, is behind the hashtag Fire Gina Carano movement. Others who support the actress have started a counter hashtag Stand with Gina Carano, with Carano posting on Twitter, of course, you can join me on Parler. She didn't say of course, that was me editorializing of that feels like where you go next. So what do you think? You watch The Man. You're a Fandalorian.
I am a Fandalorian.
I like that baby.
I just started it, so I'm a little fresh into it. I'm still in season 1.
Do you know who this is yet?
Yeah, and you know what?
You hate her now.
Well, it's weird because when she first came on, when the show was running fresh, everybody was like, oh, hell yes. Yeah. She is badass. She's doing this character very well, and I've caught up to that part now where, first introduced her and stuff. And it's right. She is a wonderful actress. She's really
she has like an actual fighting background and stuff, which is
it's kick-ass and it's awesome.
Great
it's
casting,
a bit more of what we want. That being said, this is like a hard philosophy line for me because on the one hand, you should be able to come, act, do your job, and then separate that professional life from your personal life and views. However, being a celebrity, being in the spotlight means that there's a lot more weight and gravitas to what you say. So, depending on the subject matter of what you say, I feel like that line gets blurred a lot.
Yeah. Is it appropriate for Disney to take action? And that is where I go, I don't agree with what she's saying. I don't like what she's saying. To me, that turns to, that's on me as a fan to decide, can I separate art from the artist?
Right.
I cannot watch The Mandalorian if it bothers me that much.
Right.
I don't think Disney can or should fire her for the tweets.
I agree, and I think that is exactly why Parler should be the dark corner of a very large room where people just go off to yell into the nothingness.
I think the real thing that happens here is this. I don't think Disney will do anything about it necessarily. They might. I don't know what they. I am not caught up on The Mandalorian. I could see them maybe not wanting to continue her character with the longevity if they feel. But to me, that's just, you can say what you want. I don't think Disney's going to fire you. I do think it makes you a bit of a liability in your career if they know people are going to be angry about you being cast in things. Because again, Disney doesn't have to fire her, but people are more than welcome to say, I'm not watching this.
Mm-hmm. Well, and freshly now, you have social media platforms that are starting to tag myths and disinformation. Mm-hmm. And so, we're really stepping across the line here where this isn't just opinion, this is hurtful information. Mm-hmm. So if you have these other behemoths kind of setting these standards and stuff, it would make sense for Disney at large to kind of follow the same way. So I agree. I would not be shocked if we started to see her getting softly written out into the nothing.
Yeah. Well, we asked you guys on the YouTube channel in the community, we asked, what is the likely outcome of all this? 56% said Disney will ignore it as long as they can. 31% said the character will coincidentally be written off the show. 7% said Gina will flip and apologize if the parlor path does become less profitable and hurt her career. And 7% said she will intensify the rhetoric, forcing Disney to fire her. Yeah, I think it's maybe a combo of 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. I don't think it would be like, oop, she's dead now, but I could see a soft write-off.
Yeah.
I don't, I feel like, especially with a show like The Mandalorian, it's not that hard in a universe that's that expansive to just sort of...
No, and I mean...
They just edit Baby Yoda into all her shots.
Yeah, just give us more Baby Yoda.
But don't let him eat that egg.
Right. Yeah.
Baby Yoda's on Parler now, too.
Oh, damn it.
I know. All you hear is... It's a bummer.
Yeah,
you post a lot about eating those damn eggs. That's it. All right, moving on.
I had a thought.
That's our show.
The train left the station. So. This isn't live, right?
It is not live.
Good.
But I don't know if we'll. Do you want to hear what our viewers had to say?
I do.
You suck at cooking. Boy, I keep almost reading that as something dirtier. You suck at cooking says, if they fire Gina before they fire Amber Heard, I'm gonna be pissed.
Fair.
Respect that. Because that is, and I feel like that's just been a well, and social media made it, like, it's such a weird, like, everyone was so awful in Hollywood back in the day, and we just didn't know. Mm-hmm. And now with social media, we know, like, all the time, immediately, and it does become, like, where do you draw the line? Like, with the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing, it's like, yeah, that does feel pretty inexcusable. Is this? Mm-hmm. Tom Veloso said, although I disagree with a lot of what she said, in no way should she be fired because of it. I think that's what it comes down to. Of I don't like her, I don't agree with her. As a viewer, I can choose what I'm going to do and where my, clicks and money and subscriptions are going to go. But I get why Disney's not gonna do anything about it. James Merlot says, so if we are now in a world where a person can't even express views that are not racist and whatnot, Elon, how much for the first ticket to Mars?
Wait, can you read me that again?
He said, so if we're now in a world where a person can't even express views that are not racist and whatnot, Elon, how much for the first ticket to Mars? He's saying he's out of here.
Right.
Which I get that. Again, it's the weird double-edged sword of social media that I feel like we have not figured out of like, yeah, if she was being out and out racist, I think Disney would just fire her. This starts walking that weird line of like, being anti-mask in a pandemic sucks, but is also not, is that a fireable offense?
Right.
Also being anti-mask when you're on The Mandalorian just feels
a little ironic.
Yeah. I'm just having fun. And Adam Runiger says, how is this a fireable offense? I mean, there is a First Amendment right, even if you don't agree with what's being said. And again, like I said, it comes down to like, I do think, and I don't know the exact extent of all her posts, I think if she was posting like out and out racist stuff, I do think Disney would probably, step up and fire her. But yeah, it definitely becomes a gray area, and I definitely agree in the like, I don't like it. I get why Disney can't really do anything about it.
Right. But, and to that extent, I don't think the question here is freedom of expression or freedom of speech, because you are free to say whatever you want. You are not free of the consequences that follow that. So the question really should be, are there going to be consequences, and are they deserved and justified?
Well, again, to me, it comes down to, like, if I was a casting director or producer and she came into the casting room, would I hire this person again, knowing what I know? If I did a quick Google search of her name and went, that feels like a liability, that feels like someone who could maybe say something worse down the line, and it would cross that line where we would have to fire her.
Yeah, I think audience is a key part of this too. You know, if this was an actor or an actress on HBO where more adult-themed things lived and are saying that, you know, there's a lot more of an adult take there of like, I'm an adult, I can, you know, discern whatever. But, you know, you very well might have under 18.
But she's also not going on. Stuff. Yeah.
I'm just saying the door is there where whatever happens, I won't be surprised.
I don't think Disney's going to do it.
I don't think so either.
I think it would be too controversial.
Yeah, I think that's when you really start fanning the flame. Because, I mean, even in the comments, we have, you know, people that are bringing up points of, you know, are we not allowed to express stuff? And, you know, those are personal opinions and thoughts. So, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to strap in and see.
Well, let us know what you think. Are you a Fandalorian? Are you cool with Gina Carano working on the show? Well, how do you think Disney should handle it? Let us know in the comments. I think those polls might still be up for a couple more days. And that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for stepping up.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Chris, the antidote is 2 parts river water, 1 part secret ingredient that I will give you if you allow me to be a regular.
And 1 part pie, so that's going to be rough for you. And it's not apple, which is apparently the one he'll eat.
He'll eat apple pie?
Apparently he'll eat apple pie. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm not sure exactly when this is going up because, like I said, we're dealing with a little bit of technical hiccups. So thank you, as always, for bearing with us through those. We are trying to get all that resolved as quickly as possible. Have a happy Thanksgiving to our American viewers and a happy last week of November to everybody else. Eat some turkey, too. Why not? It's good. Eric, thanks again for joining us. Where can they find you if they would like to?
Yeah, I'm on social media, mostly Twitter. That's where I'm most active. You can find me at Viva Ladains. That is VIVALADAINS. Amy, if they want to follow you,
thank you so much for
where
asking.
can they find you?
I am on Instagram at amy.n.newman and on Twitter at amy_n_newman. And I'm not spelling all that because I'll mess it up. Well, thank you again for watching. We are on all the social medias at T3 Medias. Feel free to follow us there. We appreciate you guys. And as always, Talking Through the Medias was filmed in front of a live studio audience of people who do not want to eat snails.